Hmm.
It's all about frequency. It's all the state of the frequency state in which we are operating. So the 3D world, many will say that many of us chose this experience. We chose to break a piece of ourselves off from one of the higher dimensional versions of us, right? So that we could come down to earth and experience the school. Well, 3D is the dimension that has polarity. It
Hmm.
has the good or the bad. And it's very, in all of the schools in the universe, the earth one is said to be the most challenging.
The toughest. I know.
It's
I
the
hear it all the time.
hardest. Yeah.
Think so. Yeah, learning my
Right.
lesson.
And I believe that there's an element of utilizing the quantum field in order for us to have a specific experience. So I'll elaborate on that a little bit more. We choose to incarnate here on earth, right? A couple of things happen. Number one, we say, all right, I'm doing this. I'm gonna go all out. And we set the parameters for just how bad it's going to get,
Yes,
right?
we do.
Because we're not going to experience that anywhere but here. So
Right.
why would we come here and do it easy? We're going to do it right. And we know that we're not going to remember anything. And we're going to go through successive lifetimes of redoing the same themes over and over and over again, just in different combinations of personalities. At some point, though, then I'll also say this: 3D Earth, I believe, has a specific quantum frequency that is being generated intentionally.
Yeah. Yes.
So that we are deeply programmed, so that we're in it, and we may have to go through 1,000 lifetimes before we finally raise our consciousness high enough to be like, oh, I think I'm starting to remember something here. Like, I
Yeah.
think there's something more than what I'm doing in this reality. And in the course of what we'll call history, let's look at the people who figured this out and mastered it. They are what we call the ascended masters, right? The
Mm-hmm.
people who came to Earth, got through all their life cycles, and reached an incarnation in which they figured it out. Buddha reaches enlightenment, right? Jesus is a great example of an ascended master. All these teachers who figured it out and made it their sole mission to spread that across humanity.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, though, like the program the program has us. It's got us in its grips. And so all of these, not all of them, many of these messages either got misconstrued, probably intentionally, manipulated, changed, or just shut out of history altogether. Like, let's just not talk about that.
Yeah.
And what it takes, though, to break free from that is us as an individual soul finally leveling up high enough to like see above the clouds and to realize that there's something different happening, right? And from there, all of the choices that we make are going to align us with understanding the bigger picture and how to get out of the polarizing nature of 3D Earth. Because when we raise our frequency high enough, we begin to operate within a fifth dimensional frequency. And my understanding, again, is that the last place that we have human form is in the fifth dimension. Beyond that, we take on shape and form that is not going to be looking exactly like a human, right?
Yeah.
So we're in this 3D state, and 3D has all of its different levels and gradients to it. Fourth dimensional fourth dimension is more of like a transitory state. It's where maybe thoughts and ideas and all of that dream state. But it's we don't really hang out in fourth dimension all that much. We go up to five, right? And many people experience fifth dimensional moments when they are here in the 3D. We can go back and forth. The difference between the fifth dimensional state and the 3D, the biggest one is that 3D is the fear frequency, the fear and control frequency. And then 5D is love and light, no polarity, like highest self. So I believe our highest self, our higher self, and our highest timeline is existing within that fifth dimensional reality.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is that higher self is calling for us. And eventually, it may not be this lifetime, but in some lifetime, you're going to hear the call loud enough and you're going to make your own conscious shift and change your mindset and change the way that you behave and change the way that you view reality so that you can meet up with that version of you. And the ultimate win to the game is to do it in this lifetime.